Aircraft PvP is one of the skills many people lack or have severe underdevelopments of in GTA Online. So I will go over what are the prerequisites, the techniques, and the overarching strategies and ideas behind how to use an aircraft for fighting other players in this game. So first of all, let's go over the settings. All of these are very necessary, which I will show you. So first of all, you want to have a rather low mouse sensitivity. I have 400 dpi in these settings, and it's still almost too high. You need to have mouse flying control set to vehicle by default. Then you need to have inverted mouse flying. Keybinds, you need to have aircraft, the default ones, WASD. You want to have something like spacebar or some sort of key set to pitch back, or technically it should be pitch up, and here in the game it's called pitch back. Obviously fire on the left mouse button, override aircraft mouse control on something easily to access, like right mouse button, and very importantly, toggle aircraft weapon camera on something that's very accessible to you. Now let's go over what to use. Generally, it is very simple. Use the B11. Their only other competitor is the Raiju, which is worse in everything other than being faster and having the ability to ambush kill other aircraft. That's it. That's its entire capability. It's nearly useless against ground targets, and in a dogfight it turns rather badly. You can use some veto tricks to turn a little better, but in general the B11 has the advantage. The reason why something like Starling or Pyro are not good is because they don't have explosive cannons. That means you can just fly straight towards a Pyro or B11 with a B11 and shoot at it with your explosive gun and win. Because you hit it first, you destroy its wings or engine or something, and it will just fall out of the sky and you won. There is no thinking. You never even get to a dogfight. You never need to turn in a fight against a Pyro. You just shoot it right away. Something like the F-16 or laser called in this game, or the Haidar, are not so good because they have less range on their cannons. They also don't have the cannon in one spot like the B11. Also the Raiju doesn't have that. And yeah, they do a little bit more damage, but when you have less range, and it usually just comes down to who hits first, and they also have no armor, so that's all compensated by the B11. It basically destroys them faster than they destroy it. Even the Raiju destroys them faster. They are also not as maneuverable. They were really good when they had the death beam cannons, but they have been long nerfed, so yeah. Starling can be sometimes nice for dive bombing, but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's mostly it. You also have the barrage rockets on B11, which I'll show you shortly why they are so useful. So, what do you do before you get into a plane? You switch to an outfit that has the hairstyle that uses the night vision gear. So when you go to style, accessories, the first thing here in gear is night vision. The reason why I call it hairstyle, which sounds ridiculous, but that's how the game is coded. You can see my character now has no hair, because it replaces it. So I'll go inside. I also have tinted glass on the cockpit that makes it slightly harder to get sniped out. Now, when I leave the hangar, I go to Secure Surf CEO, Management, Style, and switch to whatever, Founder Style, and back. Now, I'm able to use the thermal vision inside the airplane. You can see if I would try to use the black quad lens, I can't do it. In the bottom right corner you see spacebar to activate. This is actually the same key, if you are interested, if you can't find this. It's the same key as you use in the phone, but I can't even figure out which one it is. Cell phone, yes. The phone special option. This is this one, not any of the other ones. This is the one that defines which one you use to activate the thermals. So, let me explain the controls first. You hold W to accelerate. Now you want to point up by moving your mouse forward. That's why you have the inverted controls. So when I move my mouse forward, I'm pointing the nose more and more upwards. When I move my mouse backwards, I point the nose down. Now, the slight difference between how it's done on the ground is when I move my mouse sideways, I actually do this barrel roll in the opposite direction. So this one was moving it to the right, and now I'm moving it to the left. I want to redirect the landing gear. I have it set to G, I'm not sure if it's the default keybind. So I fly faster. And now you also want to probably turn like this, to the side. And you can see I'm only able to turn a little bit, and it's very slow. Like I can do this, but at some point I will just massively slow down. Compared to going up and down, you can see how fast I'm going up and down with the nose. To do this, you use the A and D keys. The reason why you don't use the mouse to do this is because you will need to have some very special sensitivity in order to do this, since you would have to like constantly move the mouse sideways, which you have a limited mouse at. So unless you have a giant arm or insanely high sensitivity, this will be very difficult to do with your mouse. You can change the controls to that. You also want to fly with the furthest away camera. Should be this one. And here's the camera I was talking about, the aircraft weapon camera. This is insanely good for targeting something precisely. Like you can see, I'm very accurately able to hit that edge. If I would, for example, try to do this now with the keyboard, it's way harder to aim. Yeah, I literally hit myself into the ground there, trying to do that. That's why you want to use the mouse control, so you can do very fine adjustments. Especially now, after the laser got nerfed, you now need to target things very precisely. So let's go over the weapon. We will now do a dogfight with Adam Sheen, which is my friend, who is very kindly going to help me with this. He's using the Raiju, which a lot of people claim is the best jet in this game. Adam, you can start. Don't follow me, just turn in the opposite direction and we'll just do a classic merge into a dogfight. We won't even shoot each other on the approach. Okay, so let's do this. What I'm doing, I'm holding W, spacebar, and A right now. Of course with D, you can do that as well. I'm basically doing the tightest possible horizontal circle. And as you can see, I'm already hit. If I got a little bit more lucky, I would have the same with this action. Oh, it's flaps. At which point it's now basically uncontrollable. And this is how you do dogfighting. Of course, you can do vertical loops like this. When you can hear me tap the brakes, The reason why I don't hold them is because your engine will just cut out. And then you need to hold forward for a significant amount of time until you gain engine power. So you have to tap them in this game to slow down without basically turning yourself into a glider. And when you are going upwards, you hold forward, but when you are going downwards, you slow down. Of course, not that much, but that is to keep turning in a tight radius. You can obviously do this. That's how many people do it, where they do run. You can see this. This is sort of how it would look on consoles. You see people like that when they are turning the camera. I'm basically holding the right mouse button to turn around. It's very useful because when a Raiju is chasing you, it will go from above or from directly below. Very rarely, they might try from below or the sides, but usually it's from above and behind, because they have to catch up to you. So that's also where the missiles will be when they are going after you. And since I can just control this with a keyboard, you can see I can just look behind me. If I would be dodging missiles, I'm just holding spacebar to go up. I'm not using the EO keys. However, the main cannon, although very impressive on this thing, you have the missiles. The homing missiles, you might as well not use them against aircraft, or anything for that matter, because the ground vehicles these days are usually equipped with jammers. But they have significantly more range. Like, you can see at what point the bullets disappear, while the rockets, or missiles, can shoot way further than that. Yeah, I would have never hit that with the gun itself. And this thing has the barrage missiles. Technically those are rockets, but whatever, because they are dump fired. You fire 7 of them. Actually, it might be even 8. Whatever, you fire a bunch of them at once. They nicely recharge. And these ones are pretty useful because you can fire them much faster than the homing missiles. Also, most jets actually can only fire 2 homing missiles. This thing can just spam them. And these ones, you can see, are fired way quicker. They have slightly smaller blast radius, but that doesn't really do much. So now let me demonstrate you how you would fight a ground attack. Yes, you do have bombs in this game, but they might as well not exist. They are really useless. So I'll just activate night vision, or thermal vision in this case. You can see the flame inside my jet when I'm accelerating, changing shape. For this you also need to have in the settings, you should have this anyway, but in graphics you need to have ambient occlusion set to high. You can use it without, but without that you can't even see the terrain below you. So what I do is I fly rather high, so I'm above railgun range, so I can like barely see the terrain below me. It should be plenty high enough. Now I go downwards, I switch to the camera, and as soon as I spot this orange little dot, I fire. Of course, in a real fight you want to be as careful as possible with this, and if you don't see the dot, you want to pitch up early. No need to risk your life, ever. And once you fire, you go upwards again. Let's see if that moves out of the way. Okay, I actually got him this time. And very competent players will move out of the way. And I will show you that from the target's perspective. But an important thing is, you want to have the enlarged minimap. Again, a setting you should have anyway. It's in display, I think. Expanded radar on. And you can use it to tell how much upwards Like you can see right now, I'm going almost completely vertically because I'm barely moving on the minimap. And right now I'm moving more horizontally. This thing you can use to tell if you are not switching quickly between these, in what direction you are going. Okay, so I'll just turn this off and I'll probably get down and let Adam fly this. I'll try and land close to him. I'm not the best at landing because I usually don't do it. This is actually very similar to how you would fly a helicopter. I will show that maybe after this. Well, it's pretty much the same idea except... Oh my god, yeah, I'm not that great, but I can do it, sort of. Okay, now Adam can grab the jet. And I can demonstrate how difficult it is to hit him. I'm not using a macro right now, so you will see how it will be difficult to aim. I'm using still my program to change the FOV so I can see him. You can see at this point I literally can't aim at him. It's too high. I'll give him some time and you can see I never had a chance to shoot at him. So what I need to do when he comes for another strafe, I need to run around and hope he doesn't get me, which he did this time. Oh yeah, because this is this marshland. And now I could technically shoot him in the back. Because he flew way too low. You can see he's barely on the edge right now. This method basically, when executed properly, makes it nearly impossible to die in that jet. He still hits me. The trick he's using, he basically fires where I'm not currently at. So my best bet is to hope he misses and I can get a shot at his tail. Yeah, which he's very skillfully avoiding. Okay, I think this should have been enough. And then just jump out and I'll show the helicopter one. Literally just hop out of the jet. Or I can just recall it. And it will force you out. Okay, so I'll just call in Kosatka Sparrow, which is I think one of the better ones. This is a little different because he can railgun me easily. If he is good enough, he can railgun me. One thing you can do with the Sparrow is you can put a bomb on it. So if you see something like a Mark II going at you and you are not very confident in dodging, you can just blow yourself up. So now I just do the same procedure. I switch the styles. And I enable night vision. And now I switch to the camera. This actually is pretty good on the helicopters because it makes it really easy to fly. And I'm just don't annihilate me, okay? I want to get like a kill on you. You can see what I'm doing. I'm basically letting the helicopter swing up and down. not sure if I'm not hitting him or he... Oh, I think he's swimming there. Oh, he's moving. He's clever. You can generally do this from pretty far away. That wasn't the most skillful demonstration ever, but you can see how far away I can be, and I still effortlessly see him. And I basically just fire the moment the crosshair is on top of him. I'm not trying to like lead the shots or anything. And this applies to other helicopters, but this is the only somewhat useful one. And then now you can fire back at me, I guess. Let's see how I deal. So when you know what you are doing, is you can use the terrain, especially on the ground. And to point down the helicopter, you hold S to slow down, then it lets you point down more. Okay, I think that's everything for this guide. Maybe Adam can tell me if I missed something. So yeah, probably the easiest skill to learn once you understand what's actually going on, what to use, how to do it. It doesn't... Oh, interesting. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I know it has limited bombs, but I don't think I ever managed to use up all the barrage missiles, which are the main weapon you should use against ground targets. You can use the cannon in case they put a bomb underneath themselves, which I like to do often in fights, where I just put a bomb and I snipe people and then I detonate, so they don't get a kill on me. And in that case you can use the cannon to blow the bomb up instantly. You just go towards them and you like pretend you are not aiming at them. And then you just like suddenly snap onto them and shoot like one shot and blow the bomb underneath themselves. Yeah, so I hope I just made Los Santos a far more dangerous place, especially for people on the ground against aircraft. And I've given you hope that even after all the nerfs, the aircrafts are still very, very viable. And it's mostly about patience and understanding the game mechanics. The problem might be with explosive rounds because they have technically unlimited range, so they can shoot you out at further away than the railgun, but nobody really carries them anymore, and there's still the limitation of aiming upwards. So yeah, against ground vehicles you can use whatever, but generally the cannon seems to be more worthwhile. So yeah, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, tell everyone how to do this, destroy them in the game and tell them you learned this from Adam Shadow or whatever you want to do in your free time. And I just hope you liked it and you have a nice day.